Question 14 asks us, what is the sum of 6 plus 5i and 8 plus 3i squared? In general, when you're adding complex numbers, you take the real parts, or the parts without any I, and you add them together, and then you take the imaginary parts, or the parts that do have I, and you add those together. We can see that there are two real numbers, 6 and 8. So we can start by adding those together to get 14 plus 5i plus 3i squared. It's tempting to add the 5i and the 3i squared, but we can't, because one term has an I and the other has an I squared. It's kind of like how if you had 5x plus 3x squared, you wouldn't be able to add these terms. We need to account for this I squared in a very particular way. As the question states, I is equal to the square root of -1. So this term in particular, 3i squared, is like 3 times the square root of -1 squared. Well, what happens when you square a square root? The exponent just cancels with the radical. And the same thing happens here. This is equal to 3 times -1. This means the expression that we're dealing with is 14 plus 5i plus 3 times -1. And this can be simplified to 14 plus 5i minus 3, which is equal to 11 plus 5i.